guys, and welcome back to the Moaning Yorkshireman, and welcome back to a returning series. It's the Love-Hate Relationship series, the 5 things I love and the 5 things I hate. And I thought, what better way to kick things off, of course, announcing a new channel, the Motoring Yorkshireman. And at the minute, it's still not live, but we'll get there. Once this lockdown ends, we'll get there. So I thought this time I'll do 5 cars I love and 5 cars I hate, coming up on Thursday, of course. So 5 cars that I would love to own, to be more specific. 5 cars I would love to own. So if I could get 5 of these in my collection or in my ownership at any one time, that would be absolutely phenomenal. Some are realistic and, you know, maybe just a few £1,000s. A few of them are at the top end of £30,000-40,000. So we'll have to see on those, but you never know. You never know. 450 subscribers now at the time of recording, which will probably be 312 by the time it goes out, because everyone will realise how diabolically shit this channel is. But we'll get there, you never know. So I'm going to kick things off with a more affordable one. These are in no particular order. It's not like number 1 is the most one I want to own. It's just how I feel, and I've just written them down and we're going at random. So, in no particular order, there you go, as X Factor likes to say. The first one is a Honda Accord Type R. Now, I've always been fascinated with the Honda Accord Type R ever since getting the British Touring Car 2000 review on VHS at a local fair. The Duke stand was there, the Duke Video, the people that produce the F1 reviews and the touring car reviews and things like that. And I ended up winning it was £1 to spin a wheel. I was only 6 at the time, and I rolled it on number 4 or whatever it were, and it was a bag of goodies, and one of them was a 2000 British Touring Car review, and of course the Honda Accord Type Rs were in the championship that year, 3 of them. And as much as I did like the Mondeos that year, the Honda Accord really stood out for me, and I just fell in love with them ever since, to be honest. Obviously, since growing up then and getting more older and realising how few and far between they are, it makes it quite that little bit quirky. And also with them being a Type R on an Honda Accord, not available in the UK market for so long, and also everyone always goes for a Civic, don't they? Everyone goes for a Civic Type R, and I've got nothing wrong with that. I've got a lot of respect for the Honda Civic. I do quite like it. I've been in one once, phenomenal. But the Honda Accord Type R just has that little bit of extra appeal to me. Do you know what I mean? You could probably see 5 Honda Civic Type Rs driving up the road today, you know, and the 15, 16-year-old now, the little ones that I quite like. But, you know, for the Honda Accord Type R, I couldn't tell you if I've ever seen one, to be honest with you. Yeah, I can't ever think of a situation where I've seen one on the road, because I've certainly noticed it. So, yeah, that is why I like the Honda Accord Type R. I would really like to get into ownership of one of those at some point, and they're affordable at the moment. You know, maybe £2,500 for a ropey one that needs a bit of work, and maybe upwards of 4, 5, maybe even £6,000 for an absolute minter at the moment. So if I want to get one, I need to get one within the next 12 to 18 months, I reckon, because the prices are going to go up on those soon. So yeah, we'll have to see on that, won't we? But it's certainly one I'm really interested in, and I would love to own at some point. So yeah, there you go. The first one is the Honda Accord Type R. The next one I'm sure comes as no surprise to you. I own a Mazda RX8, and I would really love to own a Mazda RX7 at some point, but maybe a little bit too out of reach. But who knows? Who knows? Realistically, for these cars, you're looking at maybe 15 grand for an imported one that's okay, and you could easily be looking up to £25,000 for a UK registered one. The crazy money. But my biggest problem is I like to keep things as standard. I know there's people that like to customise and tune, and I don't mind subtle modifications at all. Subtle modifications are quite nice at times. You know, a little bit of lowering, maybe something to make the headlights more angry, things like that. But the RX7s really seem to have been chavved up, and you know, we're sticking a 14-foot massive rear spoiler on it for no good reason, just because you can. And it's that I don't like. So to try and find one in an original condition, or as original as can be, it'll be incredibly hard. But yeah, I just love the RX7 so much. A lot of people say it's better than the RX8, and I've got no reason to disbelieve that at all. I've never sat in one. I've seen a couple of them, but I've never actually been in one, and I would love to get in one and maybe own one day, who knows. But yeah, a Mazda RX7 is just the ultimate sports car, isn't it? The rotary engine in it, which everyone hates, or loves to hate, I should say. The rotary engine's a bit like Coldplay. You know what I mean? Everyone says, oh no, I hate Coldplay, I hate Coldplay. The next thing, Paradise comes on the radio, you're fucking singing along. And that's the same as the Mazda RX7. Everyone will be looking at it going, oh no, shit, that got a rotary in it, don't want it. Oh, it sounds nice though, doesn't it? Yeah, you see, you love it really. So yeah, Mazda RX7, an absolute weapon of a sports car. Look absolutely mint, sound fantastic, and it's just something that if it could be in my hands one day, I would certainly snap the opportunity up and own one for sure. Would I swap my RX8 for an RX7? Probably not. I'd like to keep my RX8, I really would. The ProDrive car is phenomenal. And the amount of cars that took off the road of the ProDrives this year alone, I think we've gone from 300 of those on the road now to 240 just in the last quarter of the year as well in 2020. So yeah, there's been a lot sawn and going for bits now. So yeah, the RX8 I'd like to keep hold of. So I would never swap it or part X it for an RX7, and I'd never sell it to fund buying an RX7. I'd love to have both at the same time if possible. But yeah, an RX7 is the second choice on this list. And then we come to the first sports car and the first supercar, shall we say, that I really loved as a kid. And you might be surprised to know that, realising that they only ever came out in 2007, 2008 I think it was, and that's the Audi R8. Now they're quite late to the party, aren't they, in theory, but Ferraris have never really interested me that much. Of course the old McLaren F1 I absolutely adored, but never really a realistic dream. A Bugatti Veyron, yeah, they're all nice, they're all okay, but the Audi R8 was the first time I ever saw it on a TV advert, and I was like, that thing looks immense. That looks amazing. And I would go for the original ones as well, you know, up to pre-facelift and pre-V12 engines and all that lot. I would go for the Audi R8 as 2008, you know, and they're not too badly priced these days, around £35,000, which is out of budget, of course, you know, well out of reach, like the Mazda RX-7, but you never know with life, do you? And I think they're probably going to come down a lot more than before they go up again, maybe down to about £15,000 at some point, maybe at a push. And if they get down to that price, then you never know. I might be able to stretch to that at some point. But yeah, I just absolutely adore the Audi R8. I've never sat in one. I've never really had any dealings with it. I've seen a few on the road, and it always turns head, and I just love it. And the reason why I love the Audi R8, the original one, so much as well, is that you'd only really turn your head if you knew what it was. It's not one of those supercars that's, oh, look at me, aren't I big and clever and got a lot of money? It's subtle. You know what I mean? It's just a subtle, yeah, it might draw a few eyes, it might draw a bit of attention, but if you want it just to be quiet and blended in the background, I think you can, for the most part, do it with an Audi R8, and that's something I really enjoy. I don't like being loud and obnoxious in cars, and I know I've got an RX-8, yeah, I know, but I only pop and bang it when I want to. But yeah, do you know what I mean? It can be hidden, it can be discreet in an Audi R8, and that was a big appeal to me. So I'd probably just get it in silver or in black, be my kind of choice, and then yeah, just enjoy it and turn a few heads, but not that many, because like I said, you can be stealth-like in one of those whilst owning an absolute bitter kit. I don't really like that many German cars, I must be honest, but the Audi R8, like I say, it's been a childhood dream of like, I want one of those, and it still remains to this day. So yeah, an Audi R8, fantastic cars. I'm sure that they'd be absolutely immense to drive, and I really hope I get the opportunity one day. But yeah, there you go, the Audi R8 is third on this list. Fourth on this list, another one that's really just under the radar. I think a lot of people forget about these. It's a Nissan 370Z. An improvement from the 350Z, I must be honest. I've sat in a 350Z once and really enjoyed it, and I thought, oh, that's the car I want. But then looking at a 370Z, it's fantastic. A lot of people put them down as a poor man's GTR, and yeah, you could call it that, you could. But I think a GTR again is a bit standouty. They're mainly, I've seen a lot of them. I see more of a GTR, and I'm in Yorkshire for God's sake, but I see more of a GTR than I do of a 370Z. So I think there is that niche there for them. They look smart, they look really nice, they can blend in a little bit. And GTRs I just associate with posh drug dealers down London. I don't know why, I just get that kind of thought and sentiment with them. I just think, yeah, drug dealer down south. Just that kind of vibe with them. I just think they're a bit more upmarket down south with the drug dealing. Do you know what I mean? If you're high up in the ranks, you don't buy an Audi or a BMW like you do up north. You buy a Nissan GTR, and it's just got. I just don't know why I think that, but I just do. I just do. So yeah, the 370Z I think is an absolute bit of kit, and I really would like to drive one and see whether it lives up to what I had an experience in a 350Z with, and I can't see why it wouldn't. If I couldn't get a 370Z, then I would quite happily settle for a 350Z. Prices for 350Zs at the minute are around 8 to 10 grand, I would say, and then 370Zs for a good one between 12 and 20 maybe, particularly if it's a newer model. But yeah, you know, I'd love either of those, and just out of price range at the moment, just out of the price range bracket for me. But you know, maybe they'll come down a little bit more, I don't know, but they hold the value well, those cars. And yeah, a Nissan 370Z I think would be a nice little car to have. And again, like I said, under the radar, nice and tidy, and it will turn a few heads for people that know what car it is. So yeah, just a really nice car, the 370Z. So yeah, I'd love to own one of those at some point if I could. And last but by no means least, it's a Renault Clio Williams, the only French car on this list, and it has to be a proper one. I'm doing it properly. I would absolutely adore a Renault Clio Williams. Fantastic bits of kit. I remember seeing a review of them on, was it Deals on Wheels? I remember Mike Brewer used to do that back in like the 90s, and he did a review on it, and I fell in love with it from there. Really nice cars, available to pick up from about £10,000 to £15,000 as well, which I don't think is too bad considering the rarity of them and the age of them these days as well. There's not many of them left. But yeah, Renault Clio Williams would just be something to own. That, I mean, obviously I'm a big massive Formula 1 fan, as you know, so the fact it was Williams designed, and it goes with the touring cars as well as a Formula 1 team and everything like that, it just really blends into one nice combined package for me. You know, it's got the Williams heritage that came from touring cars when they entered the Works Laguna team, and it just has all that marrying up, and it just feels right. It just feels right that I should own one of those at some point. If I owned something like a Renault Clio Williams, that would be a garage queen for sure. It would just be absolutely minted up, looked after in a heated garage. You know, it being on life support pretty much. I'd probably have it'd be on a trickle charge. It'd have, I don't know if you can flush engine through, engine oil through like you can have in a blood transfusion, but I'd do that as well. You know, I'd do everything possible to really adore it. Only take it out on a sunny day, which would be once a year in the UK, but I would enjoy it. I'd trailer it to shows. I'd do all of that, but yeah, if I had a Renault Clio Williams, I would treat it right for sure. But the other four cars I would enjoy, and I'd drive often, and I'd really get them out and about, because I think those cars are meant to be driven, whereas a Renault Clio Williams now is on that bordering of a, I mean, it's already a classic, but I think it's got that kind of ability to maybe get up to the prices of such as like a Lancia Delta Integrale, Jensen Interceptor. Prices of those are just through the roof now. You're looking at like 50 grand, you know. I don't ever think they'll reach those dizzying heights, but maybe up to like 30,000, 35 grand, something like that, I think is not too far away in the not too distant future for such as a Renault Clio Williams. So if I did own one, I would treat it right for sure. So there you go, guys. Those are my 5 cars and the reasons why I would love to own them at some point, and maybe even build up a collection of all 5 at once. Who knows? I've put the lottery on. Anything's possible. 126 million today. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I would absolutely adore to own them. I'd love to own them at some point. And do you know what? Even to like the extent of an RX7 that's maybe a bit too out of reach for ownership. Even if I could just drive one, I would just love to experience driving one, so I'm sure that's more realistic. But yeah, as always, guys, let me know your thoughts and feedback down below. Do you agree with the 5 that I would love to own in my own personal garage? Let me know your 5. That's the biggest one. Let me know your 5 cars and reasons why. I love to know people's opinions and things on cars, because we've also got such a wide variety. You know, as you can see, mine's majority Japanese because I adore Japanese cars now. I've owned my RX8 for so long. But you know, a lot of people are into French and German, so let me know your thoughts and feedback down below. I'd love to hear what you would have. If you could have 5 cars in your dream garage, or maybe 5 cars that you could own at some point in your life, just let me know down below, and I'd love to react and have a chat with you about the whys, because that's the main thing with car guys, isn't it? We all have his own genre and why, and it's nice to know. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll see you on Thursday for the 5 cars I would hate to own or even sit in. That's how bad they are, and look forward to that. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and much love.